Back to First Take. Look, I'm from Chicago. Cold weather does not scare me, but frigid, bone-chilling cold football weather from Soldier Field with like lake effect certainly does. The temperature for the Browns-Bears game this weekend is supposed to be in the single digits. Real feel here. And gusty winds up to 20 miles an hour could drop that to 10 to 15 below zero. That, my friends, means it could be one of the coldest games in Chicago ever. Chicago is literally going to have warming stations at Soldier Field, and they are allowing fans to have battery-operated warming and insulating clothing. If you live in a place like Miami or LA, you probably think I'm speaking another language. This guy's going to need a thicker jacket, okay? And remember back, I don't know, a couple months ago, when Shedeur Sanders said he was comfortable with being uncomfortable. Now, he was obviously referring to something within the Browns organization. But he's going to be uncomfortable this weekend as that rookie has to go to Chicago, okay? So do we think the Bears are going to run away with this game at home in the frigid temps, RC?
No, I don't believe the Bears are going to run away, but this game just got a lot more difficult for Shedeur Sanders, right? This is going to be an assessment of whether or not they go into next year with Shedeur Sanders as the franchise quarterback. And those are not ideal climates to throw the football in. But let's think about who the Chicago Bears are. The Chicago Bears are a physical football team, a team that can run the ball. When you have Monungai and Swift, that does swing the advantage your way. The Cleveland Browns are giving up about 108 yards a game on the ground. Last week, Tony Pollard rushed for 60 yards against this team. And so when you think about what they do facing the run, the way the Chicago Bears and Ben Johnson can manipulate you with the run, I expect the Chicago Bears to win. But this game, when you have a guy like Myles Garrett, when you have an offense that's coming along in the way that Cleveland is, I believe it'll be competitive.
Cam?
No, running away, barely running. If anything, when you have an opportunistic defense or a defense that can really get after you like the Cleveland Browns can, you always have an opportunity. Hey, throw in extremely cold conditions. That's even another kind of takeaway from Ben Johnson's offense or Caleb Williams. Now, there's going to be a plan of attack that each team has to go against. And when you start to think about how the game needs to be won, don't be surprised if it's closer than what people expect it to be. Because playing in the NFL, you have so many what-if situations. Well, what if it is below degrees? What if it is, an injury? What if it is, a certain situation where it happened? I am not surprised if the Cleveland Browns find a way to make this game extremely competitive and it's closer than what we would think to be a competitive game.
Well, the Bears make it closer just by the way they play sometimes. Defensively, they give up a lot. They bend a lot, although they don't break. They're very opportunistic on defense, but in the same breath, they certainly have a problem stopping the run. They don't have a problem running the football, but they have a problem stopping the run. It's going to be interesting to see what they do this week. I will tell you, as an aside, I've lost many, many friends. I mean, there are friends that I've had that I no longer speak to because they're mad at me because they never see me. And I said to me, it's not my fault. You moved to Chicago. That's why you didn't see me, because I ain't going there. I mean, it's that damn cold.
Go in the summer.
That's what I'm saying. I mean, don't get mad at me when you don't see me, because I tell all people in Chicago, from November through April, don't even look for me. I'm not coming. I don't even want a connecting flight through there, damn it. I don't want nothing. That's a different kind of cold, okay?
I agree.
And I think Shedeur Sanders is going to find that out. Now, the question is, can they handle that? I don't know if Cleveland can handle that. I got Chicago winning this game, but to say they're going to run away with it, though, I'm going to show a bit more faith in Shedeur Sanders and what we've been seeing from him. I'm going to show a bit more faith in Cleveland's defense to keep it competitive, so I'm not going to accuse them of running away.
And we also got to look at the Bears, too, Shay. I know this is your squad. They have a 17-point win against the Cowboys early in the season. They won by 19 against the Saints. They beat the Eagles by 9. Like, those are the big wins for this team. We have to remember all the games they've won in the fourth quarter. The Giants at home, having to come back and kick a late field goal against the Vikings. The Cincinnati Bengals and that huge play by Colston Loveland. This is not a team that plays runaway football. What it's going to be is, can Shedeur Sanders handle the cold and continue to see the progression we saw in his game from the week against San Francisco and then what we were able to see last week in his performance against Tennessee Titans?
When I first got this job, I said to Stephen A., I said, Bears-Packers next weekend, end of December in Chicago. He said, you can go. I'm not going.
That's
You can go.
That's exactly what I told him.
Exactly what he said. We're not bringing the show there. You go.
And Shay, also, too, I don't know if you know about this guy, but even if he goes to a game, he sits with either the owner
in a box,
of the team
in a warm
or
box.
some sort of big-time politician.
Right. So he would be in a suite anyways. The cold would not even affect him.
Or executives. But hold on a minute. You got to get to the suite.
Right.
I mean, outside the suite is cold. You know, so you got to get to the suite. You got to walk into this football stadium. You got to walk through the tunnels. It's a bit brisk. It's a bit brisk.
Ridiculous.
It's a bit brisk.
Players, when it is this cold and you play in extreme cold temperatures, how? I don't understand. You guys wear no sleeves out there. Like, what do you do to prepare for a game this chilly, Cam?
It's strategy. You know, even though you don't see any sleeves, that don't mean you don't see no ointment on them arms. You know, RC knows. He played in Pittsburgh. You got Vaseline, you got Tiger Balm, you got all types of different remedies. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, you got the technology, or they got certain things that, you know, you don't even actually feel cold while you're playing. All you got to do, long story short, is keep your heart rate up. You know what I'm saying? You stay moving, you stay active, you know, stay on the treadmill on the sideline or the bike. You know, those type of things that keep you warm. But nobody cares. You know, when you're watching this type of game and everybody's watching you and they're expecting, you know, you to have a big game or find a way to win, whether it's wind chills, it don't matter. You got to still find a way to be effective look for the Cleveland Browns defense.
Cam tried to give y'all a real answer. The real answer is we ain't got no sense. Right? Like, to play this game, something got to be wrong with you. Yeah. There's like a little something that ain't really connecting in order for you to play this game at a high level.
Right.
You know why? Because you're still cold. Your fingers feel like they just fell off.
Right.
Your toes, they feel like they gone too. But you know what I think to myself? Everybody's cold. And I always thought to myself, think how much it's going to hurt when I hit him in his face. Mm-hmm. Right? Like, that was my thought process. On the sideline, you got the heated benches.
That's what I was going to bring up. I'm like the heated bench. You can import those, right? Yeah, you can import those heated benches.
Yeah, you got the heated benches. Right. You got the jackets.
They're there.
You got the little thing that Ed Reed caught on fire standing in front of us, right? I do all of that.
The heaters.
And then, but it was like, it's fire. It ain't no heater. Right. That thing is fire. It's a furnace. Right. And then when you get on the field, you just like, hey, man, if I get them to go 3 and out, I'm right back to the heater.
That's right.
And so you just got to have a little bit of psychopath in you. Mm-hmm. And if you do that, you can go play in the cold.
But here's the thing. It really doesn't require you to be a psychopath. That last scenario you just brought up, that's any human being. Wait a minute. I get 3 and out, I get back to that bench. I mean, the sooner I get them off the damn field, the sooner I get to that bench. There is no defense that should be more prepared than brothers this weekend. I mean, they should be about that life. You know what I'm saying? They should be about it. I bet you if Tampa Bay was playing in Chicago this weekend, they wouldn't have had the problems they had last night. Oh, hell no. We ain't trying to be out here. We get right back to that heated bench. Hell yes. Man, let's get them the hell off the field.
Your nose be all snotty.
There you go.
Like, it is not
exactly.
cool.
All right, quickly, let's go around the horn here before we break really fast. I don't mean to say it that way. If Shedeur Sanders wins this game in Chicago this weekend, I didn't mean to say it for some reason. Right. What will we be saying about him on Monday?
No, we're going to be saying that, you know what, they were right to make him the QB1. He likely has a future in the National Football League because it's games like this that define you inside here. You're saying your skill set is one thing, but adverse circumstances, when you go under adverse circumstances like the kind of stuff that he's going to face this weekend, it's just going to be another, another check of the box.
Mm-hmm. No, it's going to be what took you so dang long, Cleveland Browns.
Cleveland Browns.
Like, at some point, it's going to have to be a referendum on the coaching staff, on the executives, on the decision makers in that building as to why was he 4th string at one point? Why was he 3rd string at another? Why were you continuing to keep him on the bench or make sure it was difficult for him to get an opportunity to play when you had an opportunity to see this? You had an opportunity to give him the chance to show not only you, but show the world that he could be the franchise quarterback. We wanted and we felt that he should have been drafted earlier. Yes. And so everybody's intention or everybody's perception was the Cleveland Browns would feel like they got to steal and treat Shedeur Sanders in that way. But they didn't. They treated him like a 5th-round draft pick. They treated him like a guy that was unproven. They treated him like a guy that we watched his film and he wasn't draftable in the early rounds. But what he has shown through these weeks, through his play and his leadership, was that evaluation was wrong. And if he does go to Chicago and win this game and play well again, you have to start thinking to yourself, what else can we do with those first-round draft picks in next year's draft?
Cam?
Well, why is Shedeur Sanders the only person that is in constant evaluation of how would he perform, or what would we say if that's the case? Well, Shedeur Sanders has been nothing but a model citizen and what he was supposed to be ever since he was named a starter. Well, Kevin Stefanski, what are we going to say about him? Matter of fact, let's eliminate the Cleveland Browns in this particular situation. What are we going to say about every single team that passed on Shedeur Sanders if he finds a way to win a football game where the odds were stacked against him? The Tennessee Titans? Hey, well, the New Orleans Saints would have won more games if they would have took Shedeur when they had an opportunity to take Shedeur. These are the bigger questions. That Steelers as well. It's so many things that we keep trying to, thrust Shedeur in the forefront to say, hey, man, if he does this, well, what are we going to say? These are the things that we need to be saying. Hey, do we have our coach here next year if he wins out or he wins a game where it's stacked against? Hey, what are we going to start saying against the management that had opportunities to select a talent like Shedeur Sanders? So it's bigger than just Shedeur. It's more or less to say, like, hey, dog, everybody who's plotted or tried to box him out, you ain't who you think you are, buddy. So we're going to reevaluate you too as well. So that's my whole thing. It's like Shedeur has been doing everything that he's been asked to do and more, bro. And now we have to start opening up the whole doorway to point blame of who could be better and when things that could be done differently as well.
Are you guys good? Or?
We good. Looking at me, don't do nothing. He got attitude. You don't scare me with your mean mugging stuff. He just upset at me because I brought up the Steelers.
But you ain't had no reason to.
Because they needed to draft a quarterback. What you going to do after this year when Aaron Rodgers leaves? You need a quarterback. They ain't have a quarterback. And if Shedeur Sanders proves that he could quarterback, he in the AFC North. You don't have one when we got Mason Rudolph. I mean, that's what we supposed to look at.